Sign here live down from the streets in Mexico. You know where it's terrible and unsafe, and no gringos go because they will surely be kidnapped by cartels. Except for no, that's not how it works. I'm down right now in Santiago de Querétaro in central Mexico, Querétaro State, but I'm actually in La Ciudad, the city of Querétaro right now, which is obviously, or probably obviously, the largest city in Querétaro. Diego B, Mark, all you guys, shout out. Lost Timers Sucks, Nitrix. Everybody pop in there. Good to see you guys. John Campbell, Central Oregon Howdy, Wild Trapper, Hugo, TJ, King Gamer, everybody, good to see you guys in there. So, you know what, I hear a lot of things, and I hear a lot of propaganda. You know, Mexico has no freedom, Mexico's socialist, Mexico's communist. In fact, there was just a presidential election yesterday, and obviously I was not involved in that election, but it was interesting to watch because they elected a third-party president, and that's a huge blow to the party system. In fact, it would be the equivalent of a libertarian being elected in the United States. And so there's all this propaganda, of course, coming from the fascism supporters, the Blue ISIS supporters, the Trump New Berlin Wall supporters that are saying, oh, they elected this terrible communist and it's going to be awful. And what they're really angry about in the United States is that they elected a president that is opposed to the U.S. Using Mexico as its whipping boy, opposed to the U.S.'s immigration BS, opposed to Donald Trump's fascism. And the reality is that the United States, Donald Trump even, and our system is far more socialist, socio-fascist is really the correct term for the United States than Mexico. And I just thought I'd show you guys because I'm down here at the market right now. This is the central Mercado here, and Mercados are a great place to see how non-regulated socialist, fascist societies that Mexico is. And so I'm not saying that AMLO Obrador, I believe is the correct way to say it, is a great guy or that he's going to fix Mexico, but he is saying some good things. We know how politicians work, right? And I don't know enough about politics in Mexico to say a lot, except for that I can say that the BS coming from the fake treats in the U.S. Doesn't have any basis in fact. I've actually seen no evidence that AMLO is even as close to as much of a socialist as the U.S. is, even as Donald Trump, guys. I mean, thanks, Tina. We have so many socialist, illegal, redistribute wealth programs in the United States. We really are a socialist and a fascist nation. But let's go into the Mercado. I'll see if I can keep my signal going. One of the things you'll notice, and one of the things that you'll see in a nation that has freedom, and a key indicator is free markets. And the definition of free markets is kind of what you see in a Mercado on the streets. If you look out there on the streets, you'll see all these shops. You'll see people setting up a roadside cart. People open businesses and make tacos on the side of the road with no permits. And in the Mercado, they rent a space and they sell pretty much everything. You can find everything from DVDs in the Mercado to zapatos, which are shoes. You'll find lots of food, anything. Hola, buenas tardes. Comida, that's the juice over there. There's fresh fruit juice and socks. There's always clothes, lots of fruterias. It's totally remarkable. In a large Mercado, you'll find everything from fruit on one side to specific Lego figures on the other for people that are collecting those. So it's pretty cool. Let's just walk in a little bit. I actually just went down to the fishmongers and I bought some fish. I got some, in English we would call it red snapper. Along the way there's all kinds of food here. Here's an electronics store. One of the things you'll see is electronics repair stores in Mexico, very common. And in fact, I had a dash cam and the USB port broke. And so rather than buy a new dash cam, I just took it into the repair shop and they fixed it for $25 instead of me spending $100 on a new one. It was actually a fairly substantial job. Here's the fish market. I just bought some of these guys right here, these red snapper, and they're looking pretty good. We're gonna have the cook make those for dinner tonight. And but they have pretty much every kind of fish you would want. There's a giant slab of tuna there. That looks good. And gracias, señores. Look at those shrimp. Look at these shrimp. It's bonita. So as you walk down. So you'll see a mercado like this that's indoors. There's outdoor mercados. There's indoor mercados. There's somebody making tacos. I like the ones in banana leaves. Hola. And is beefsteak, señorita? Beefsteak tacos or? Mande, lo siento, mi español es pobre.
Es barbacoa, borrego.
Okay. Is cerdo, ¿sí? Is res? Is carne de res? Okay, bien. Gracias. Mi regreso. That's some kind of, they have a different names. They don't always call it, I kind of call everything that's beefsteak. And it's, they don't call it that. So sometimes it's confusing. Here's like a candy and there's dried shrimp right there. I'm not that into the dried shrimp, but some people really like those. All kinds of dried foods. What are those? Look at those little kiss. Interesting. Sí. Es diferente por gringos. Gracias. You always find lots of clothes shops, and let's just go, well, I don't know, this place is huge. This is a huge market. So what you do is you can kind of come to market, and at the bigger markets, of course, the bigger the city, the bigger the market, and you'll just find, dried anchovies, that makes sense. Thank you, Marina. They look kind of nasty, but interesting at the same time. So you'll see like a district. There's herbs and candies. Intermixed, you'll find restaurants, toys. Now we're coming into the meat section, and you'll see lots of just meat laying out on the marble counters, and you can just come and get whatever you want. I recommend not coming to the meat section of the market. Usually the meat purveyors are all together. Hola, how are you? Buenas tardes. Dice, hola, mi compadres en Estados Unidos. México es muy bonita y es mucho más libertad en México. En Estados Unidos, todo es illegal. Gracias. Let's see, thank you. Somebody just had a super chat in there, and I'm sorry, I was chatting. Greg, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Lots more fruit out here. Good looking fruit. Lots of mangoes, and if they have it, there's some maracujas. Those are, I forgot the English word for them. I just know the Spanish word for them. Passion fruit, and I love passion fruit. They're not something you see much in the States. Payas, platanos, good stuff. So, wow. Well, now we're in the fruit district. I would recommend not, if you're like pregnant or nauseous, don't go to the meat district of the market because it is very pungent, and that's just the nature of the beast. I have no idea what those are, but they're very interesting. And disculpe. Oh, look at all this good fruit. There's dragon fruits over there. I see the dragon fruits, and I just want to come back. It's hard to not go to market and just start buying everything you see. Here's more sausage. Hola. What's that? Look at that. There's the green and the red sausage. Lots more meats. There's pig's feet. I'm not into those, but they're interesting. Pretty much anything you want, you'll find in the market. So it's chayotes. There's the meat. The meat is kind of spread out in this market, and so there's just meat everywhere. The carne is muy popular in Mexico, and there's a pig's head, which is really. They eat some things that really creep me out. I don't like heads or brains or anything like that. Call me a food prude, but okay, I'm a food prude. But what can I say? I'm just used to what I'm used to. But I do expand out, right? I'm starting to try the different fish. Thank you, Matthew. Starting to try the different fish, and always lots of clothes. One thing that's very common that I actually particularly like for my wife is a sheer blouse, a sheer top is very common and socially acceptable in Mexico. I think the concept of Mexicanos is that if you're going to spend $30 on a sexy bra, it should show a little bit through your shirt, and that's completely normal. It's also a warm climate, of course, so you're not being racy if your top is a little sheer, or in some cases. Honestly, we were at the mall yesterday, and there was girls wearing tops that were straight up see-through fabric. They were covered underneath, of course, but it's interesting how the clothes and everything is different here. But you'll see the market is very busy. It's actually hard to find parking close to the market, and you'll see everything from. Oh, I smell the leather. This looks like handmade leather goods. Look at these boots down here. To commercial clothing imported from China to handmade stuff. So let's enter the beast here again, and let's see here. Chester Lisa. Oh yes, high heels. You guys have seen some of my videos. If you like, high heels mean high heels. Oh, this is good. This is smoked. I believe this is smoked Gouda. I forget what they call it, but look at it. It's like still like misted. Looks like it's. Oh, that smells amazing. A lot of cheese in Querétaro. Querétaro is a cheese state. There's a panaderia, but they don't have much in there. Food, lots of food being made, and we're gonna swing back around this way. So as you guys can see, it's really cool. One thing insects. Actually, I haven't seen many at all today. But one thing that is more common in a market in Mexico, particularly the open street ones, is you'll see more flies and bees and stuff like that. Although actually this market is pretty clean, free of that. Might be a condition of the weather, but yeah, this is cool. This is one of the main central mercado here in Santiago de Querétaro. San Miguel is a city I have been to. It's interesting. It's very gringoized. It's very touristy. So I wouldn't necessarily say go to San Miguel if you want like the true classic Mexican experience. But it's still very nice. Let's go see what they got for juice over here. ¿Es jugo? Sí. Bien. Piña y... ¿Qué es? In English is cantaloupe. Okay. Es mixto, ¿sí? Sí, está bien. ¿Tienes maracuyá?
Sí.
Sí.
¿Maracuyá no tiene? ¿Tienes maracuyá? Sí.
Sí, maracuyá. Aquí con maracuyá. Es bien.
No, es fruta.
¿Tienes hielo? Fruta con hielo ruso, por favor. Sí. ¿Vale? The frogs? Frogs. No sé, frogs is...
Frozen.
Oh, frozen, yes. Sí, con hielo. There's the baby sleeping back there. ¿Es tu niña? Bonita. Muy cansado. Demasiado frutas. So I ordered, that mixed fruit there, guys, with... Me? Oh, it's a Mexican house. ¿Vale? Poco azúcar. So yeah, we got, they're mixing up a smoothie there for us. The baby's sleeping in the back because that's totally chill. Thanks, gamer. And it's just how it's done here. You bring your family to work, you do your thing, and nobody freaks out because the idea of CPS coming to take your kid because you did something they didn't like, or they didn't sleep in a proper crib, or your house isn't clean enough, is simply non-existent in Mexico. Is Jamaica? Is Fermente? Jamaica or piña? Is Tapache? ¿Querés? Hola. Tourmaline. Sí. I don't really know what I'm drinking, guys, but it's strong. It's fuerte. What is it made of? Hecho de. Is fruta? Oh, it's cherry. Fermente. Fermented cherry juice. That's interesting. Huh. ¿Se vende aquí? Or, sí? ¿Cuánto? bien?
You want red? Igual.
I have to drive. Vende in...
Nah.
No? Okay. Is raro?
You want red? Mira.
Bien.
You want? Red? You want red?
Aquí?
One? You want red?
Oh, for Cansano. Put the baby to sleep, huh? Okay. Bien, muy bien. Now that's a smoothie, guys. ¿Cuánto? 70? Bear with me. Ah. Gracias.
Seven, right? Seven. It's 25.
Okay, the total is 25. No cambio?
No, 5. 25, but
25.
it's 7.
Okay, the total is
7. No, 7.
Oh, 70.
Uh-huh.
Okay. 60, sí. Okay, I got it. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Gracias por tu conversación. Okay, so we got it. That was 70 pesos, which was like $3 for this huge smoothie. Now, actually, that was the gringo price, I think. That was a little higher than you would normally pay, but that's okay. I don't mind. They were very nice and had good conversation. And so, thank you to our super chatters for buying me the smoothie. And I think I'm going to go to one of these places. This is like a little seafood restaurant. So you have the little stands, and then you have the full-on restaurantes. And I'm trying to see what they have here. Tostadas, empanadas. There's fried shrimp, mariscos, sopes de mariscos, filete. There's something with fry, sope, caldo de camarón. They like their squid here. So it's good. Okay, so guys, I don't want to go too long. We've already been going a while. I just kind of wanted to show you the market experience down here, where you can. There's a game store where you can get pretty much anything you want down here. So it's pretty freaking cool. And everything from Legos on one side to fruit on the other to fresh fish. I actually got fresh herbs. That's fresh chamomile and fresh basil. That was like 50 cents each. I think I spent about $1 for both those. And you'll just see everywhere. You know, there's the tiniest little shops, like this guy sitting right here, to people sitting on the streets selling stuff on the corners. And so is Mexico socialist? No, it's not. Is there programs? Is there taxation that shouldn't exist? Are there rules? Is there corruption? Of course. But in reality, Mexico, hang on, let me flip my camera here. My hands are getting full, guys. In reality, Mexico is far less socialist than the United States, by a long shot, actually. So the next time people are saying, oh, look at Mexico, they just elected a communist, they have no idea what Mexico's like. No, there's not a wall on the Guatemalan border. No, Mexico does not treat people like the USA does. It just is not tolerated here. No, police don't just get to shoot people on the side of the road. That's not tolerated in Mexico. And so they do have far more freedom. They do have their problems. They do have violence issues they're struggling with because of the US-sponsored drug war. And there's still some rules, but the difference is if you say, screw the rules, I'm going to live free, they also don't show up at your door and kick it in and shoot you like they do in the United States. So the future of Mexico, I don't know. The future will tell, right? But what I can say is it's beautiful to see the people. They're so much more neighborly and caring, and there's so much more freedom here. And you have, because it's not a socio-fascist society, what you're seeing here are free markets all over the place, all the way up one side and down the other. Here's all this fruit. Just look at this. Look at these people just selling, and you'll see this on the streets. You'll see it. You'll see it in the markets. You'll see it everywhere, and people are just living. People are just doing their thing. In reality, a nation is measured by its buenas tardes, is measured by its justice system in reality. And while Mexico's is far from perfect, it's nothing like the absolute sham of a kangaroo court in the United States, where the Constitution is literally irrelevant to the courts and the police and government do whatever they want. Here you actually can defend your rights. Here the Constitution is relevant in a courtroom, and there's lots of ways to improve it. There's lots of problems. There's lots of areas that people need to stand up, and there's lots of fruit to go along with it. And so the reality of Mexico is far different than the propaganda that you're hearing. There's a dude selling guitars on his back. And I just want to show you guys, I just like showing you guys how different it is. This is, it's pomegranates. Look at that. That's fresh pomegranates that look really good, except for I have all this food now, and I don't really need more. But if I didn't have my hands full, I would totally buy the fresh pomegranates. Just look at all this stuff. Look at these colors and these foods. Those look like cranberries, I think. And I think those are blueberries. Sometimes I don't even know. I just eat what they hand me and see if I like it. Nice looking avocados there, aguacates in Mexico. And so yeah, it's cool. Do I ever miss the U.S.? See my video from last night telling my story about what put me here and how it feels to be in exile a little bit. I talked a little bit about that last night. But this was a mercado in Santiago de Querétaro, just a little look at the very non-socialist free markets that are the norm here. And it's not that they don't have any social programs by the government, but in reality, guys, Donald Trump is far more socialist, fascist than any of the systems that they have being driven down here at the point of a gun. Mexico is not perfect, but it does still have a hint of freedom, as I think is obvious, and this is why people are so angry at me for what I say, for speaking out against the corruption. Don't get me wrong, I speak out against corruption in Mexico as much as I can, because I barely speak the language, but if you didn't see the video from a couple of weeks ago of me calling out the cops for a parking ticket, go check that out. It's right here on this channel. I'm gonna go find a little food before I head on back, finished my errands up here in Santiago de Querétaro, and we're gonna vamos back towards home. But good to see you guys in there. Hope you guys will like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Thank you all for the super chats. Big shout out to our Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/Gavin Syme. Sorry this video went a little long, but I thought you guys would just enjoy seeing everything, right? Everything from the fruit to the underwear for sale right there behind me. And yes, there's underwear, particularly female, and lingerie for sale all over the place, because here they like their ladies to be women and sexy, and people are free to pretty much do what they want. But the family, the men acting like men, the women acting like women, it is refreshing. But in general, people just have mucho más libertad. And if the people of Mexico keep resisting corruption, if they keep standing up, if they come together and stand as one, Mexico can be the free side of America in the future, because the USA is gone. It's no longer free, and no one we elect at this point is going to fix that. The USA died when we stopped loving our neighbor and stopped defending the freedom of those around us and started worshiping veterans and flags and police instead. So stand up, resist, know when to get out, love your neighbor, and don't buy into the propaganda, because chances are, if it's coming from the USA, regardless of the news source, unless you're seeing it yourself like I'm showing you down here, it's probably propaganda. All right, guys, peace, stand up, and we'll talk soon.